So here we go, second journey. We are going down to Chichester. Everything's ready, weather's lovely, bike's ready. Let's get going.
Yeah.
Oh, are we going the right way?
Mate, you're the one with the map.
I don't think we are. Oh wow, yeah, it's a completely different way, sorry.
Where are we going now?
Turn around. Way. Yeah, there we go. And so there was the first of a number of mishaps on our way to Chichester. We planned the journey to be another practice for our grand tour to Exeter and hope to get our legs in on the Tandem again. Mishap number 2 came along when we quickly realised that we'd set the Komoot app to follow the wrong type of route for the journey. Lesson from today, definitely check the directions before you leave.
Prepare to turn right.
Prepare to turn right? Oh Christ.
Oh, hill.
Now turn right onto single track.
Pull over, pull over. Why go right there?
That just leads to a forest.
Let's give it a go.
Where's the taking us?
Off-roading Tandem.
Oh god, this is new.
I think this is right. This is where it wanted us to go. I did not expect this.
No.
The terrain in the forest really wasn't suitable for Biggles and he was struggling a little bit. Whoop. Ow. Oh, look at that. Should have been a lorry driver.
Speed and power. Ow.
Way. Bonk.
Ow. Oh. Lord. Ow.
This is not suitable terrain.
No.
Why have you brought us here, app?
Wow. Oh.
But in the end, we made it out and we got back onto a road and it seemed to be plain sailing from there. Well, somehow that worked.
Yes.
50 yards, go straight. Now continue straight on A272.
We okay behind?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get.
Go, go, go. Right, so off. Right, so after an interesting start with our lack of directional ability, we have made it through a forest and are currently going off a road. How many miles into our 13 are we towards Chichester, do you reckon? We have done 1.4. Oh, well. So it's been a good start so far. Not as good as the start as the one to Rowlands, but then again it's a harder route. This one's slightly more daunting. It's more like 13 miles each way, a bit hillier. We haven't done the route before. I think for us, we want to see if we can do this.
I think we can. I've got a lot of faith.
I've got a good amount of faith. So we've laden down Biggles a little bit more this time. We've got both panniers on, we've got a lot more water, we've got snacks, we've put basically a lot more kit on. For this one, I imagine we're going to be depending on the battery a lot more. But I've done a little bit of maths on this. Ow. I just got on. So, we have a 13 amp hour battery, which in theory means it can deliver 1 amp for 13 hours. And the battery is nominally 48 volts. It will sometimes be above that, it'll sometimes be below. So if we multiply voltage by our ampage, we'll get our wattage, and we'll get a total number of watt hours. And when you multiply 13 by 48, you get just over 600 watt hours. Now, I'm going to assume that it's not going to be that efficient. They're actually going to be more like 500 watt hours available. Our motor draws 1,000 watts at full throttle. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. That means we can run it for half an hour. That should be all right. But we're gonna have to see in today's testing that.
Maths lesson over. We had a challenge on our hands.
Right. We will have had a successful journey if we can overtake this road cyclist. We're saying we're doing like 20 miles an hour. Yeah. Can we go up again there or something?
All the way.
Yeah, bloody good show.
I have got liquid on my knees.
Again. Right, so far, average nearly 17 miles an hour.
Oh, what? That's proper
We were in good spirits and feeling good about our journey, and then it all changed.
Right, once again, Kamut has sold us down the river. I say down the river, up the gravelly path. Oh, because it thinks we're on a mountain bike. It's taken us up this ridiculous, really horrible path. Horse boot.
This was some of the hardest tandeming we'd had to do yet. The gravel, the mud, the weight of the bike, the length of the bike, everything made it harder to pedal through, and it wasn't getting any easier.
Right, I'm trying to keep us in the tyre tracks. It does not want to be kept in the tyre tracks. Oh, we're nearly there. Is this the right way? Hang on, hang on, hang on. I'll lift up from the front. Through here. Yeah. Shut up, sheep. Branch.
To add to our problems, most of the route of this part of the journey seemed to be uphill. We kept getting lost, meaning that we kept on going up hills unnecessarily and wasting time.
Right, sit rep. We were now having to push because this is the mother of all hills.
Follow this way for 0.91 miles.
This part of the journey was the most demoralising. We covered barely any ground at all, and we were stuck there for an hour and 15 minutes before we saw a road.
Well, we've made it to this point, up a delightful hill. We're going to be heading that way now. It's tiring, and it's got to be done at some point. As much as it sucks, it is a good experience. Bike's done well. Looked like it had taken a few hits, but it seemed to have shaken it off on the whole, so all good.
Lesson number 2 from this journey, therefore, avoid anything that could be done on a mountain bike and definitely get fitter. When eventually we did see road again, it was a pretty good feeling.
Oh my god, it's a road. It's so flat. Oh, it's so flat. Onwards.
We were back on the road and making the most of the flat ground.
23 miles an hour. 30. Keep steady. 35 miles an hour. Yeah.
With speeds like that, the rest of the journey to Chichester was easy and straightforward.
Right, so we have made it to Chichester. I don't know how long that took actually, we'll have to have a look when we get back. How are you doing?
My ankle hurts.
His ankle hurts. We're going to take a little bit of a pit stop, recharge batteries, have some food, a bit of water, and then we're on our way home. So we've done all right. You happy? Good. Excellent. Bike did really well. I think everything's still perfectly on. Motor hasn't slipped at all, which is good. Oh yeah,
That was the only
chain guard came off down here, but to be honest,
overrated.
don't need it anyway. Everything's working. We've got a bit of mud in our pedals, but that's all right. Well done, team. After a difficult and slow first half of the journey, the return leg was comparatively easier. We had changed the settings on Komoot, and now our route was taking us only on roads. That being said, we still had a couple of hills to deal with. Horsies! Horsies, come here! Okay, so we have just come through, well, I think we might be in Chilgrove, wherever that is. Yeah, we are. We've got a monster hill to come, but we've also got going down it on the other side. Bike. Biggles has just been immense. How's your experience? What's it like being on the back?
Really good. It's just the not being able to see, and obviously I have no control of steering.
Yeah, I think we've got a fair bit of contouring to come up, but we are about halfway home, which is really good. I actually think we're going to make it there before 5 o'clock, which was our target.
Yeah, that's good.
I'd be happy with that. We'll take that.
Far more than the terrain though, the return journey told us that mindset as much as anything else is really important. Feeling positive and having the ability to just plod on was just as important as whether we were going uphill or downhill. So lesson number 3, keep a positive attitude and try to just keep going.
We are edging ever closer to Petersfield again. No idea, hopefully less than 5 miles now, because we're hurting a bit.
And that was it. We'd completed our round trip from Petersfield to Chichester. The 35 miles had taken us almost exactly 3 hours, a pace that we weren't really happy with and definitely wanted to improve on next time. It had been a tricky journey. At times we'd been climbing 16% hills and going had been tough. With that being said, we definitely wanted to go further next time, to push ourselves and the bike to see what both of us could do.